The Congress party was in power for 10 years continuously from 2004 to 2014. There were two striking features of that regime. The first, that it did not take a single step either against corruption or against black money. The second, as far as corruption scandals were concerned, they peaked during that period. So from the 2G scandal to the coal block to the Commonwealth Games to the VVIP helicopter case, the Augusta Westland deal, each of the scandals which is even today discussed in the public space belongs to that period. Given this scandalous record, it is not surprising that the Congress party is extremely uncomfortable with this anti-corruption campaign that the NDA government led by Mr. Narendra Modi has launched. A society which deals only in cash or predominantly in cash, and it should be remembered that from 2004 to 2014, high denominational currency increased from a mere 36% to over 80%. There are economic costs of dealing in cash. There are social costs of dealing in cash. And these are the costs which system has to bear. And therefore, the present NDA government has started overhauling the system. The demonetization drive, currently it is at a stage where high denomination has ceased to be a legal tender, is actually a step in that direction. It's our strategy that from a high cash dominated economy, we should become a less cash economy, where the amount of paper currency will come down, it will still exist, and there will be greater digitalization. In fact, we see with a sense of satisfaction a huge movement in favor of digitization which is taking place. And there are obvious advantages of this, notwithstanding some transient problems which people have to face. We are now rapidly completing the remonetization exercise. Every day the Reserve Bank is injecting large amounts of currency into the banking system as a part of its remonetization. Significant amounts are going to be injected over the next 3 weeks, which are gradually bringing the pressure down. And as more and more of the new currency comes into circulation, the recirculation itself into the banking system, the ATMs will make more currency available itself. And the advantages are that so much money which was operating as loose cash in the system has today come into the banking system. It has to be accounted for. Where taxes had not been paid, taxes would now be recovered. Future transactions would be substantially digital. And once they are substantially digital, they get caught in the tax net. And therefore, future high taxation, the taxation levels would be much higher than what is currently being collected. This would also enable the government at some stage to make taxes more reasonable, which applies both to direct and indirect taxes. The banking system itself will have a lot more cash in it, and therefore its ability to support the economy with low-cost cash, that is cash whose cost of capital is much lesser, would be much higher. Now, obviously, with all these advantages, the social cost also on the system would go down, and therefore cash used for bribery, for counterfeit currency, for terrorism, for evading taxes itself would be down. Now, when this is seen along with many other reforms that the government is bringing about, particularly the proposed GST, the restrictions on cash spending subjected to a PAN card declaration, itself is going to bring down the levels of corruption in society. It's going to bring down the levels of cash transaction in society, and it's going to bring down the level of evasion as far as taxation is concerned. I would therefore urge my friends in the Congress party and the entire opposition, we are ready to debate this issue in Parliament, rise above slogans, and look at the positive advantages that this changed system in the long run is going to bring to the economy as a whole. And therefore, from a national perspective, I would appeal to the opposition to join in this campaign rather than create obstructions and fail to understand what the real purpose and import of this campaign really is.